Also, we told you on today's big story about some students of Aniam Basic School who are trading their womanhood for fish. Now, the students, some of them are expected to sit for this year's Basic Education Certificate examination. They said they got themselves in the situation because their parents failed to cater for them. According to one of them, she gave in to the sexual advances of a fisherman who gave her fish to sell and keep the money.
Because I'm hungry as well.
So usually you go to school hungry?
Yes.
So your parents are not taking care of you, that's why you had to rely on this man?
Yes.
Has the man accepted responsibility? How much do you need to use in school? Why would you want to be back in school again?
Because I want to come somewhere in the future.
What's your dream? What do you want to become in future?
I want to become an accountant.
You want to become an accountant?
We can now listen to the headmaster of Aniam Basic School, Solomon Gawuno, who is worried about the situation.
But now I'm speaking to you, 4 are pregnant. And what is causing that is there are some villagers in the community who have been doing light fishing, overnight fishing. And the children themselves sometimes tell us they are catering for themselves. And sake of that, the men have been luring them with fish. And it is causing the downfall of the community.
These 4 girls who are pregnant, are they still in school?
They stopped coming to the school because of the pregnancy. They are now in the house. They are feeling shy to meet with their colleagues in the classroom.
And is it something that is a regular trend here, that every year you have children getting pregnant?
Exactly so. Every year about 10 of our girls will go home with pregnancy. So it is a very hurting thing.
We can now listen also to the assemblyman of Aniam, Francis Dochu, who describes the situation as alarming.
I was having a discussion with the PTA executives so that we should work as a team to make a headway out. Because if we don't take critical measures now, surely next year it will be more. So the final decision we have taken is if we get to know the boys that involved in that, surely we are going to send them to the police.
On the phone line is Michael NSOWAH. He is former Director General of the Ghana Education Service. Good evening to you. Thank you so much for joining us on today's big story.
Good morning. Good evening, madam.
What could be accounting for students dropping out of school and choosing to get pregnant?
I'm not sure. They drop out of school to get pregnant. They get pregnant and drop out of school.
Definitely.
And yes, so there are many causes, but it looks like poverty is at the center of all these issues. You know, many parents who take care of these daughters, and they are lured. They are very easily lured into, this form of, I wouldn't call it profession, but this form of behavior. And I think it is time to look seriously at the way our families, the way that they are helped to be able to take care of their children.
But this looks like a situation that has been there for some time now. And as we heard from the assemblyman, he points out that if the situation is not resolved now, it may get out of hand. How do we deal with this situation?
You see, some parents, because of this, struggle to look after their children, I will use the word abandon these children in their hometowns and villages, and then go to the city just to make sure they can make something and then go back and look after them. So in the absence, if there's no strong family bonding, we used to have, our society used to be, set up on a very firm foundation where everybody is responsible for every child, even the whole village or the whole community. But it's not like that now. Just like we are being individualized. Families have become individualized, and therefore it is difficult even to try to correct a child who is behaving. And when these children are left on their own, they are made to struggle, and that is where they are even they fall prey to these advances by these men or boys, and they get pregnant easily because, again, ignorance of how easy to take care of themselves is also another issue.
So let's look at the Ghana Education Service. How can the Ghana Education Service partner, for instance, the Ministry of Gender, Children and Social Protection to deal with this matter?
Yes, it is important that the two ministries work together. Now, because we're talking about children in basic school or girls in basic school, many of the public, in fact, most of the public schools are day schools. Therefore, the children spend most of the time in the home. Now, it is important, and I know the gender ministry is working on that, sensitizing parents on that. But it is not enough. They should be able to, introduce them to economic ventures, however small, so that they will be able to make something every day to take care of these children. If they are unable to do that, these people who are waiting on the wing will always be, taking attractive advantage to these children, and then, if they are not careful, they fall prey to this. Why, of course, the schools will continue to insist on the good behavior, so that when they come home, and with the education by the gender ministry, we'll be able to make measures. But let me also add that what I've noticed in recent years is that many of these women or mothers are leaving the communities or the villages to go to the big cities or the big towns, because farming used to be a major occupation for many of us. Now, the lands are being sold as if we have no future, because they were going to the farm, and from the farm they were able to sustain their family. Now, many of these have been sold for estate development. They are turning out with blocks. So where are these people going to survive? If you travel outside Accra, from Accra out, you see that it's all estate houses, and all the adverts tell you that, all these lands are available for. Now, the future, the food security of this nation for me, very soon will be a very serious matter, because all the lands are sold for blocks and buildings.
Well, many thanks to Michael and NSOWAH. We're really grateful for your time on today's big story. Let's get on to the other phone line and speak with KWETEY NARTEY, my colleague who has been unraveling this mystery. Good evening to you, KWETEY. KWETEY, what reasons did the children give as justification for getting pregnant or trading their womanhood for fish?
Aisha, what many of these people told me was that usually their parents do not give them money for food when they are going to school. So many of them have to sort of rely on these live fishermen. They give them fish. Then later in the night, these fishermen invite these girls, and they are sexually exploited. And the community leaders have been expressing very many concerns about this, but it appears because the parents are out of the picture, the girls have become vulnerable. And I'm being told that many of these parents are either out of the community trying to find a living. So that's what's happening.
Have you been able to get in touch with the Member of Parliament for this area? What has he been telling you?
Aisha, I have not, but I've been speaking to some of the opinion leaders in the community, and what they've been telling me is that it's a worrying trend, and what they intend doing is involving the police to help deal with the situation. But many of these girls are not willing to give up the names of these men that impregnate them. So it's making the fight against this men a bit of a challenge. So they are still looking at ways of getting these girls to stay in school, and then finding ways of dealing with men that sexually, exploit these girls.
KWETEY, how is the parents taking this? Are they accepting or admitting that they are part of this problem?
What's happening, Aisha, is that many of these girls live with guardians, and then the parents are away. So the guardians are aware of the problem. And many of these girls have to, after school, they would have to find their own means of survival. And they admit that, yes, the parents have not been supporting these children, and they are also economically challenged, so they are unable to support these girls. So these girls rely on these fishermen. Because it's a fishing community, many economic activities are not readily available. So they rely on these fishermen who give them fish to sell for their upkeep, and then the unfortunate aspect happens.
Well, many thanks to KWETEY NARTEY for the details of that story. Let's speak with Reverend Jonathan BETTEY. He is Public Relations Officer of the Ghana Education Service. Good evening, sir. Thanks for your time. Good evening to you, Reverend. You're on today's big story.
Good evening. I hope you are doing well.
Very well, thank you, Reverend. We're told that some girls at the Anyuam Basic School are getting pregnant and dropping out of school, and what they're doing is actually trading their womanhood for fish. Has this come to your notice?
We have not heard that incident. The story has not yet gotten to our notice. We are just hearing it from you.
Well, that's what our reporter unraveled from the Anyuam constituency. So how does the GES intend to partner, for instance, the Ministry of Gender, Children and Social Protection, to resolve this situation?
We know the Ministry of Gender and Social Protection are doing a very good job and helping everybody in this country, not only school children, all women, to be, to maintain their virginity or their womanhood. Ghana Education Service can partner with them when there is a need. I'll say there is a need, so that the guidance and counseling the division of Ghana Education Service will partner with them, so that they will also be counseling our students against all this immorality.
But what does the syllabus say about sexual reproduction or...
Well, when we talk about sexual reproduction...
do they teach them in school? What do they...
Yes, the subject is handled. That topic particularly is handled in our schools, basic schools, and to the senior high schools. All we handle them. We are doing our best. Ghana Education Service, for that matter, the teachers are teaching. They are handling all these things, but social media is also influencing these children, and they are not able to stand the challenges of this world. But we are praying that as we continue and emphasize, lay more emphasis on the teaching of that reproductive issues, that they will come down. We will reduce the stage in which
but the bigger question is the fact that these children said they are hungry. That is why they go trading for fish. In fact, one of them said her parents do not give her money when she's going to school. What has happened to the school feeding program? Hasn't it been extended to that area?
Excuse me, when children are complaining about hunger, this is not a duty of teachers.
I'm talking about the school feeding program. Hasn't it been extended to that area?
Well, the school feeding program is for basic schools, it's for primary schools, not for adults of that level.
Well, some of them are in primary, upper primary.
Yes, it depends on the area we find the children. Some are old in class 6, primary 6 or class 5. They have their pubic hairs and all those private things being developed. But what I want to say is that we will appeal to the gender ministry also to see how best they can extend their hands to that level of children so that they will also be helped. The government will appeal to the government to see how best they can help us reach out those people also. But you know, it's a policy, government policy, and the policy is being implemented by Ghana Education Service. But when we talk about feeding program, gender is solely in charge of feeding program in our schools. So I think you will be the right person. You, the media, can also be the right person to appeal to gender ministry to stretch their arms to the level that we are talking about.
Well, we're really grateful to Reverend Jonathan BETTEY for speaking with us. I must also say that all attempts to get the Ministry of Gender, Children and Social Protection into this issue proved futile. My name is Osei. Have a good evening.